Welcome to Punch Drunk Love. I'm Allison.
Hey there, I'm Matt. Nice to see y'all.
Yep, and Matt is also our resident DJ mixologist. He mixes the beats up and he mixes drinks in our household. So we figured, why not use him to help support Punch Drunk Love for Amplify Austin over these next few days. I'm making some honey cocktails. We're gonna have some quips over sips and invite some of Punspoken past performers come back and perform their sets.
Alumni.
Yeah, that's right. We've got some award winners. We've got some two previous Punspoken MVPs, most valuable punners, coming on tonight. So we're so excited to have you join us. So, besides making some drinks, bringing those on, the first part of our presentation today will be the cocktail making. And so I'd love to turn it over to you, DJ Big Settle, Matt Bradshaw, to tell us what we are making today.
Sounds great. Thanks for asking. We are doing two cocktails today, one alcoholic and one non-alcoholic. So the first one we're going to be doing, taking on the Mai Tai. This one is called the Amplify Tai. Very punny, very form-fitting for what we're doing here today. The difference between an Amplify Tai and a Mai Tai is that we're using vodka this time, primarily Tito's vodka, as opposed to rum, but you'll find that it's actually pretty fantastic. That's fun. So, what we need for that is our cocktail shaker. We need some vodka. We're going to need some Grand Marnier, which we have right here. We're going to need some lime juice, which I'll bring out in a second. And then we'll also be using some maraschino. So, first step, go ahead and take your cocktail shaker, fill it up about halfway with ice. Do that right here.
Great. And while he does that, just want to talk to you about why we're doing this real quick. So we are raising $5,000 to bring Wordplay Fest to Austin. This is a festival for language lovers that support self-expression. So this is experiences, workshops, performers that allow you to better communicate to everyone around you. So that's what we're doing here, and we're calling it the Amplify Tai as a twist off of the Mai Tai that uses Tito's vodka, because Tito's is a big partner for this 2-day giving event. I Live Here, I Give Here presents Amplify Austin, Austin's biggest giving event. And they have said that they will donate an extra $25 to everyone that donates. And the link is in the description. And it's also bit.ly/EDL-24. It's right on that ticker at the bottom of your screen there. So that is the link to donate. And don't forget to put that hashtag Love Tito's in. And thank you, Tito's. Cheers for supporting all these deserving nonprofits in Austin. So back over to you.
Right on. Well, speaking of Tito's, that's our first ingredient. We're going to need 1.5 ounces of it. So I've got this little guy right here. Fill this up right here. We got 1.5 ounces. We're going to add that to our shaker. Okay. So we have our alcohol base. We're going to go for liqueur next. This is our orange liqueur, Grand Marnier. You can use any kind, but this is our preference over here. We're going to be using 3/4 of an ounce of that. So I'll put that in there real quick. Okay. Put that in there. Next thing we need is our lime juice. We're going to need another 3/4 of an ounce. So I've got my limes pre-cut here. I'm just going to fill this guy up. 3/4 of an ounce. Yeah, let's tap that. We got it right here.
And I hear that rolling the limes helps to get more juice out of them. Is the correct statement?
Well, I hope it is, because I did roll is quite a bit, and it does seem to be working. So there you go.
How do you roll?
Pre-juicing. as they call it in the industry.
Mm.
Not that I would know that, but here we go. We got our lime juice. So 3 ingredients, real simple. We've got our vodka, 1.5 ounces. We've got our Grand Marnier, 3/4 ounces, and we've got our lime juice, also 3/4 ounces. Now it's time to shake. We're gonna shake that up. Here we go.
Shake. You can do this at home.
Okay. Just for 1 second while I grab a glass, fresh ice. Right there. Then what we're gonna do?
I see what you did there.
I see also what I did there. So here we go. We're pouring it in.
Ooh.
Now we're not done just yet. There's 2 more steps. What I'd like to add to this Amplify Tai is a single maraschino cherry. Oh no. Okay. I need glass. We'll do that. Probably wouldn't want to order
We've
this
got
from
clean
before.
hands, so.
I do indeed. Do that, and then just go ahead and add a little drizzle in there. Mostly for color, but also for a little bit of taste. Then we're going to do a final stir. And our last step is
Stir it up.
to garnish with a lime. And there is your Amplify Tai.
Woo! Cheers. Mine needs a little refresher.
It sure
It's
does.
bigger than mine.
Well, it's improving every time. Oh, that is good. That is very good. Makes you want to go to the beach.
Yeah. A little garnish. Here we go. Cheers.
Cheers.
I got a little head start on mine.
Very
So
nice.
I love how easy this is. This is 3 ingredients. Those watching at home, hi Instagram, welcome. We are making Amplify ties.
Yes.
So show us those ingredients in front of the camera real quick again.
Here we've got our vodka, Tito's preferably, 1.5 ounces. We've got our Grand Marnier, 3/4 ounce. And we've got our fresh squeezed lime juice, which I always prefer to the store-bought plastic container, although that will work as well, especially if you're making a bunch of these. And then you garnish with a maraschino, a little splash of maraschino, and a lime wheel.
Right. Great. And it's not super sweet either. It's super tart, I would say. It's really nice and tart. So really great if you're watching the body to have this cocktail.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty low in carbs, I would say. And we practice low carb eating and drinking here as well. On Instagram. Cheers, y'all.
Hit us with all of your alcohol-related puns and non-alcohol-related puns, because we're about to go into our next cocktail here.
That's right. What's this next mocktail? It's a mocktail.
Indeed, it is mocktail. 0 alcohol in this, although you may be fooled if you were served it at a bar. It's called the Teetotaler, and that is because instead of using alcohol, we are basing it with our Texas brewed tea, unsweetened, available at HEB. So we're gonna ditch the sauce over here and bring in some new ingredients. Now this one's fun because not only is it non-alcoholic, but it actually has a couple of health benefits to it. Because one of the ingredients will be our Good Belly probiotics. We've got that, we've got those 2. We're actually gonna use a little splash one juice at the end here, I think.
And you could substitute any kind of berry juice here, but I saw this that had no sugar added. We're trying to keep it low sugar. We sweeten up already.
So, all right, watch out for your shaker popping out the top after you've shaken this beverage. I'm gonna go ahead and rinse this out real quick. Turn it around, we're gonna grab a little more fresh ice for our shaker. Just a handful out of the bowl. Okay, got that. And now we'll begin mixing it up. So, first ingredient will be our Texas tea, 1.5 ounces.
That's all.
We can add a little more.
Ooh. go with your flow there.
We will add a little more, just for volume. Okay. Next, we've got our 1/2 ounce of our Good Belly right here. Little goes a long way on this one, so we'll keep it at that. Our Good Belly probiotic.
And this is, I hear, this is very good for you.
Indeed, it is. Okay. So we've got those two ingredients. Our last ingredients that are, well, they're not last, but coming down to the wire here. We're going to do another squeeze of our lime juice, another 3/4 ounce again. Let's get that going. I think this one is tapped out, so I'll grab another one. There we go. There we go. All right. 3/4 ounce of our lime juice. And all right. Okay, cool. Just enough. Yes. Great. So everything that's going in here is in here. And I'll explain what I mean by that momentarily. There's some things that you do not want to put in a cocktail shaker when you're making a cocktail, especially if they're carbonated.
Yep, you're going to get some overflow.
Yes, made that mistake myself a couple of times before. So I'm going to get some fresh ice in our tall glass here. I need a little tiny bit more ice.
Okay. Find the ice machine.
Here.
You're good, sir.
Thank you, thank you. Okay. Here we go. Strain this into here. And it looks kind of sad because it's not very full, but don't fret, we're not done yet. There's a couple things I want to add to this. First of all, we're going to garnish with maraschino again. I'm going to try this little trick here. There we go. Like that. Give it a little splash of the maraschino as well. Maraschino. Give it a little more splash. This is not a very sweet drink, so we can use a little extra. Okay. Give that a quick mix. And then, because we want things a little tropical, we'll give this a tiny, splash of our orange juice. Nice splash, mostly for color. And then finally, we're going to top off, even though this is very full, with Waterloo sparkling water, ginger, citrus twist. See how far we get here. The remainder. I think we're pretty good there.
Garnish it.
Yep, I'm gonna stir that real quick. Put that in there, get nice and bubbly. And then garnish with a lime.
That Waterloo is like your favorite one, right?
It is, yeah. I like the polar ice one as well, but Waterloo does it pretty good too. Almost like drinking a Moscow Mule.
Well, cheers.
Cheers.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. And that is the Teetotaller.
Very, very good.
Ooh, I think that's fantastic. You want to take a sip of that one?
Yeah, I want to.
The probiotics are pretty heavy on the taste buds.
That's very nice.
Yeah.
That's very nice.
It's good. In a good way.
We call it the TITO, TITOTALLER, because we are, of course, celebrating Tito's as for $25 for every donation. So that's why we named our mocktail after our Tito's as well. But this is very good, and just to make it sure that it's not super sweet, we use, let's go over those ingredients again one more time. This one was a little more complicated than the other one.
Sure, yeah. So our main ingredients are our Texas tea. We've got the Good Belly probiotic. And 1.5 ounces of this.
This is unsweetened, but you could use any fruit unsweetened.
Yeah. And then, so yeah, 1.5 ounces of this guy, and then just a 1/2 ounce of Good Belly. And then we're doing another 3/4 ounces of lime juice. And then the rest is kind of up to you. a splash of maraschino, add a cherry in there, splash of OJ, and fill up the remainder of the glass with your Waterloo sparkling water, ginger citrus flavor. And there you have it, garnish with a lime with.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers indeed.
Cheers and cheers. Okay. I might have you make me another Amplify Thai. Actually, that was quite good.
Okay.
But in the meantime, I'll clear this little area over here and let you know what's happening next. We'll keep the Titos in the frame here, so you know who's giving us the here we go. We'll set them right over here. The Titos. Yeah, so what we have going on next is we have some very, very special guests that are coming on very shortly, in about 15 or so minutes. So I thought maybe I'd tell you a little bit more about what we are doing with Wordplay Fest. And I thought maybe if our bartender is up for it, maybe we'll play a little bit of Name That Fun.
Sure.
Are you up for it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool. So first and foremost, maybe I'll just go way, way back and just talk about kind of the inception of Punspoken. Punspoken was really created because I basically wrote poetry, slam poetry, and loved word nerdy stuff when I was growing up, and it was always kept really secret. I was always super, super embarrassed that I wrote poetry, that I was a word nerd, and I always wrote in a really secret little notebook, and I didn't want to share it with anybody. And it really took me a long time to really find my style and find kind of what kind of writing and speaking really lit me up. And I just so happened to be living in New York City when a friend dragged me into this pun event called Thunderdome. And it was in this really strange part of Brooklyn at the time, near the Gowanus Canal, for those that know of New York City. It's kind of a smelly area because the canal kind of stinks, but now it's kind of a up-and-coming neighborhood. But at the time, no one really knew what Gowanus was. We go into this amazing packed bar, and I see these incredible performers just completely go impromptu on different topics of puns. And it just blew my mind that these people could be so lit up and so funny and so witty off the cuff like that. And I just said, these are the smartest people in the world, and I want to hang out with them. So fast forward a few years, I moved to Austin, Texas, and I see that the O. Henry World Pun-Off Championships are held in Austin every single year. And I said, what an opportunity for people to take the stage and bring humor and good feelings to other people, other humans. Because that's what we know, a lot of, bad things, evil things are happening in the world. Not going too far down that road, but there's things in our world and people are hurting, and yet there are art forms that you can turn to that really help to uplift, inspire, and celebrate yourself and each other. And so that's what we're really about, is elevating content, bringing humor and words that feel good to give and receive. And so that's through puns, that's through humor, that's through poetry, so be it. And that's where on my pun events that we've been doing for the past 2 years in Austin, we're really wanting to elevate that and take it to the next level and for it to be a festival. So that's why we're inviting amazing spoken word artists. We're bringing freestyle rappers. We're bringing humorists, improv actors, stand-up comedians. We're going to have a laugh track and a beat track, so you can pick what you are interested in and want to join and participate in. So in order to get promo videos, to bring on high-paying sponsors and get more visibility, and also to keep the tickets affordable for you, we are raising $5,000 in Amplify Austin over the next 2 days. And Tito's is donating $25 for everyone that writes "Love Tito's" in the hashtag. So you can go ahead and find out about that link at bit.ly/PDL-24. And I'll also put that in the comments as well so that you can check out that link. And we thank you for every single donation that really helps to bring us to that next exciting chapter. Oh, thank you, dear. Cheers. So, cheers. Okay. We are going to play Name That Pun. But first, we want to give you the definition of what a pun is. Now, I know we've read this so many different times, but I think I can remember off the top of my head. The dictionary.com definition is humorous use of a word or phrase. So as I might need a cue. Humorous use of a word or phrase as to emphasize or suggest its different meanings or applications, or the use of words that are like or nearly like in sound but different in meaning. A play on words. Maybe I can put this in the chat too, just so you know what we're working with in case you weren't familiar with what that is. Great. And I'll also pop in the donation link into the chat as well. There we go. Great. Cool. So let's keep this going, huh? All right. First one. Are you ready to play?
Name That Pun. Yeah.
Okay. Great. Instagram, you can play with us as well. Okay. First one. Highball. Backwards? Maybe backwards on Instagram.
That's right.
Highball.
Everything's backwards on Instagram. Highball.
I highball my eyes out every time that a dog barks at me. True. If the dog barks at me the wrong way, I always cry. All right, next one. Drink.
I would have brought my ice skates if I knew we were going to an ice rink.
Drink. Drink. Oh, something about a deep ring.
Yeah.
Drink.
My ballpoint pen wasn't working, so I brought it.
Drink. I love that. All right. This one's a hard one. I'm not sure if I can do it or not, but let's try it. Vodka. Oh, how about if you want to pronounce it in the Russian way, you would say vodka. Was calling you, allow you to have a conversation with me. Was calling you.
It was like a little different accent, so that's right. I don't know.
So my friend Richard Kaw was running for office, and so his political button said, "Vote Kaw." All right. It was worth a shot. Anyway. Shot. That one for shot. If I start taking shots now, I'm gonna be shot by the end of this live stream right now. No one will ever think that these drinks had shoddy craftsmanship.
You get too tipsy after this and start dancing around the house. We'll have to close the shutters.
Shutters. We already anticipated that and closed them anyway. All right. Got this one.
But there's nothing funny about this one. No one's ever made a pun.
No one's ever made a pun off of liquor.
Try to not do that one.
Okay.
Uh,
How about liqueur? Liquor's cousin.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when it comes to envelopes, I never know to lick or peel.
Liquor peel.
Depends on
Okay.
if they're modern times or not.
Okay. Yep. Liquor. Liqueur.
You like Oregon?
I love it. Yes, I love Oregon. I love that fun. That's great. All right, we're gonna go into a different kind of drinking category. This one is beer. I'm gonna be here for it. That's right. First one, lager.
Lager, I hardly knew her. See? I knew I couldn't hold out.
All right, lager. Longer hours because the boss man might be checking up on it. That's what I got. That's what I got for lager. All right, next one.
Draft. The draft beer on tap. Have you ever gone whitewater drafting?
Yes, I wrote about it in my memoir, but it got cut after the first draft. Yep. All right, this one's always a lot of fun one. IPA.
Different body humor. I feel a lot.
Oh, I know that Matt says this because he is actually sometimes he does a production assistant job. And then when they ask him what his role is, he says,
IPA.
okay.
Yeah.
There it is. All right, we got a few more here. Instagram playing. This one is carbonation. Carbonation. Barely fit on the card, but we got it on there.
It reminds me of that weird movie where certain elements of the periodic table like come to life and start killing people. And one of my favorite lines was carbonation.
Good. Have you seen the documentary about eating bread? The anti-keto documentary. It's called Carbonation. All right. Got a couple more here. And then we may be inviting in our next guest very soon. All right. Pilsner.
Pilsner, I hardly. No.
That again. Pilsner.
Someone asked me if I'm addicted to stuff like Pilsner. Making stupid jokes? Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I like to collect the outside of the banana. Yeah, I'm a peels nerd. Aw. I actually think that I'm getting funnier after this Amplify Tai.
Yeah. That is what's happening.
Is it? Are you finding that as well? Alright. Last one we got here.
You destroyed my hops and dreams.
Oh. This is what a bunny does. Easter's around the corner. Hops to it. All right. I'm out of words, but you can put your puns in the comments. And if you have a better one than we do for any of these words or any alcohol-related words, because we are doing Punch Drunk Love or Amplify Austin, please put them in the comments. We would love to see them. Cheers.
Cheers.
All right. Well, we've got some very special guests, and I would just love to maybe chat a little bit about who is coming into our broadcast real quick. So first off, we've got Carolyn Keller. So Carolyn is our social media manager here. It was a pretty intense hiring process bringing Carolyn on board, but I have to say it was worth the wait, worth the hurdles. Carolyn Keller is on top of being an improv producer at Full Town Theater. She runs several improv troupes and improv shows. She's a really, really talented lady. So in September 2022, we had her compete. I thought she's so funny and so phenomenal. She manages a lot of our content strategy and does our social media. So we brought her on to compete and be one of our competitors. And gosh darn it, she won the whole darn thing. So back in the day, we called the Punspoken winners, we called them fascinators, and they had these fancy hats. It was so fabulous. We had a great time. And so she got to wear the special hat and really won out and won over a lot of really, really talented people. So we can't wait to have you join. I'm just going to say goodbye to our Instagram live stream here. Thank you guys so much for joining and for watching. Catch us over the rest of the live stream over on YouTube, and you can check that out in our bio. Fantastic. All right. So,
You gonna spin this thing around?
yeah, we might do that. Okay.
I'll stay here and clean up.
All right, that sounds good. I'm going to show you a little bit of the behind the scenes right now. Would you like that? Okay. So we are borrowing the kitchen of our very dear friend Punniest. Thank you. Shout out to Allie and Ryan and Olive for letting us host in this house. So here's a little kitchen. We'll show you a little bit. That is where the YouTube live stream is there. That's our little ring light, as you can see. Sorry, I didn't mean to blind you. And our little camera that's showing some behind the scenes footage right here. Cool, huh? Cool. Oh yeah, the cutest part of the whole house. There's Chuck. All right, and thanks Chuck for joining us. All right, very cool. All right, this is the next part of our segment where I get to kind of relax and enjoy our beverage and pun with our friends here. So very cool. All right. So, yeah, I guess, what should I do here? I guess I can talk to you a little bit about, yeah, maybe I'll read you one of my past performances, or let's see, talk a little bit about maybe what the campaign represents for us. I think that might be a thing to do while we wait for Carolyn to come join us. Punspoken is really meaningful to me, and maybe I'll tell you a little bit about what my really my big vision is. Yes, the festival is big, and it feels a little bit vulnerable to share this with you, but I had shared earlier in the live stream about a little girl that I was that was always embarrassed to share the poetry that was in my notebook. And the reason why it was so uncomfortable is because I didn't see any examples of people sharing their heart that looked like me, that sounded like me, and have any examples at school. So really what I would love to see happen is to share Punspoken and have platforms for young girls and people that might not have the same opportunity as others, to have a place where they can share their own writings, their poetry, their performances, their comedic pieces, maybe a stage to do improv. I know that there is theater in a lot of different schools, and that is an art form that allows kids to kind of act out other people's stories. But there just wasn't really an opportunity when I was growing up for me to act out the stories that I created on my own. And they were always, closed between two book covers. And so I had a friend ask me the other day about, what the big purpose of this whole thing was. And really it is to connect with schools, connect with kids, and allow them a platform and a stage to share their truths. I think if more, especially young girls, have access to this, I think we'd run into a lot, we'd have more confidence to go for what we wanted, to really show up for ourselves and to accomplish our dreams. I think I may have found my purpose and maybe my career a little sooner had I been able to feel like I was worth hearing, that my stories and then my writings, my poetry was worth hearing. So that's a little bit more about the big vision of what it is that we're doing here. So yeah. What else can I share with you? I'm going to give you a little tour of our page and talk a little bit more about the campaign that we're sending you to. So just want to share again that we are raising money for our video promo project, and we're so excited to have you here with us. I'm going to be sharing my screen here. Great. So I'm just giving you a tour very quickly of our page, our Punch Drunk Love page for Amplify Austin. Big shout out to I Live Here, I Give Here presents Amplify Austin, as well as Austin Creative Alliance, our nonprofit partner, for setting up this amazing page for us. Okay, so here we are on this page. We have $90 raised so far. Thank you guys so much for all of the donors that have contributed to this campaign. And I am just so grateful that you've been here. We just kicked it off, so we've got another day, full day of donations to be raised here. So I want to talk to you a little bit about what some of these things are. So of course you can choose your own amount to donate, but over the years, as I call myself the funder of Punspoken, because I have been funding it for some time, but now you are my co-funder in this, okay? So I appreciate you contributing some of your hard-earned cash so that we can bring this festival and expand our reach. Every single dollar that goes towards this campaign is designed to bring on big corporate companies, sponsors, and create a video that aligns with their needs and connects so that they can connect with more of our audience. This really keeps the ticket prices low. I'm really doing all that I can to offset the cost so that I don't have to pass the costs off to the customer, you. So $30 is our green room refreshments. So anytime we have an event, we always have a little green room for our performers. They're the lifeblood of our business, the talent. And so $30 gives them a trip to Costco to fill up their green room with snacks and drinks. And then $75, there's a really cool company here called Rock and Roll Rentals, and they are oftentimes our go-to place when we need to do any kind of rental that we don't have the immediate equipment for. First encountered Rock and Roll Rentals, and we did a talent show at our house one year, and we rented a whole lighting kit and brought our friends over to all showcase their hidden talents. It was a lot of fun, and shout out to Rock and Roll Rentals. And they've definitely come through in a pinch for us, in a punch for us, if you will. And $100. So I was really inspired. I've got a friend, shout out to Dave Wallace, who also has a pun competition show called Punch Out. And he was giving a $100 bill to the winner of his Punch Out event. I was super inspired, and this is just the very minimum. I really want to pay our talent, and so I am really hoping that we can up this number. But the very last event, we gave $100 to the winner, and I hope to continue to create more abundance and grow that as well. So that is $100, sponsors a future most valuable punter, and allows us to really pay our artists, right? The next one is for $250. You can be the generous sponsor of 1 hour of our venue rentals. Our events run 2 hours or more. So this absolutely covers an hour of our rental. Our last venue cost us $650. That was definitely when you are renting a budget or renting a venue, that is the biggest cost, right? So that would cover us for our venue. And then for $500, you can host a month of paid ads that helps us to reach bigger, newer audiences. So I thank you for that. And then if you watch this, you'll hear a little bit more about our story and what we're raising money for. And also, I just want to reiterate what Wordplay Fest really is. It is a pun, spoken word poetry, plus hip-hop comedy festival that elevates the written and spoken word. And we've done 7 successful events over the last 2 years in Austin. And this really helps to support the artists that are creating our promotional videos. And that's why we're here. That's why we're welcoming you to Punspoken as well, to this campaign, to donate. And you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel right from there as well. So we're also going to be sharing some of those honey cocktail recipes that were so good to our DJ Big Subtle, our mixologist who mixes the jams and also the drinks here at Punspoken HQ. And don't forget that you write Love Tito's in your checkout page so that Tito's adds $25 to every single donation, no matter the amount. So you can 25x any donation that you put. Well, not 25x. I guess you can 25x it if you donate $1, but you can add that to the bottom line there. Great. Last thing that I wanted to show you here was the bios for these amazing people that are coming tonight. So we don't have them on here, but on this particular page, it was a late edition, but absolutely wanted to give a shout out to Carolyn Keller, who is our social media manager, as well as Lisa Sperry, who is just the charcuterist. She's going to be doing a piece on charcuterie, and so we have that to look forward to, as well as Crops, who is more of like a spoken word artist who has won in the past as well. So can't wait to welcome them on, and we are just going to welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. I'm gonna go ahead and stop my share and welcome you back. So we are minutes away from bringing Carolyn Keller on to perform her winning piece from the September 2022 Punspoken event. And I just really love working with her. I think she's brilliant. I think she's super, super funny. And actually, she inspired me to do an improv class. So there are a couple of communities that have really inspired me and over the past few years. And one of those is the improv community. I just always found that improv comedians are just super funny, super easy to get along with, and I was inspired and decided that I wanted to throw my hand in, try an improv class. So I just learned just so much about how to incorporate the different aspects of thinking on the spot into everyday life, right? There were a few times I had to kill some time on here and chat with you, and I had to just come up with something on the spot, right? That can be pretty challenging to be with. And there she is.
Hi.
Hey, good to see you, girl. So I was just chatting with our viewers about current or future viewers about just improv comedy, and I gave your bio just a bit ago, and I shared about how you are just really prolific in the improv community and
Aw.
have been producing a lot of great shows. And so, before I have you share your amazing winning Punspoken performance, maybe you could share a little bit about improv comedy, kind of how it plays into some of the work that you do and producing content for us.
Sure. So I think I'm in maybe my fifth year of doing improv now. And I'm a person who really likes to feel prepared for things. I think my natural state is as a writer who can just like edit over and over and over and then rehearse over and over and over if it's something to be delivered. And so improv forces me to do the opposite of that. And when I'm unable to anticipate what's happening, I'm forced to, and appreciate being forced to, kind of open things up to just kind of get comfortable with the anything can happen sort of feeling, and another principle with improv is just kind of, if this is true, what else is true? So I
like
try
that.
I try to bring those elements into most things I do, honestly. But in terms of, ideating and creating, really just in general, it's been really helpful for me in sort of elevating the way that I brainstorm and create.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate how it really helps you go with the flow when things aren't going
Mhm.
your way too. You've got
Yes.
tech issues that come up with running a business, and you've got, when you're doing live events too, things happen that you don't expect.
Right.
Like, that's kind of the exciting part about the whole thing, right? So,
Exactly.
so
Exactly.
yeah, it helps you kind of roll with what's in the here and now.
Yeah. Getting more comfortable with the uncomfortable.
Yeah, I
People
had
are
to kill a lot of time between when we first started because the cocktails got made really quickly.
ah
And so I got to practice my improv skills by saying, "What else can I share about what we are up
amazing.
to? What do you want to know
Amazing.
about?" So anyway, yep. Anyway, well, why don't we have you share your amazing piece, and then maybe we can talk a little bit about it afterwards and kind of how it came to be.
Sure. Do I just go whenever I'm ready?
Yeah, do you need anything, like, do you need to share your screen or anything else that I can support you with before we
No, I'm good. I have my notes app, so I'm all set.
Awesome. Yeah, take it away.
All right. As family legend has it, when my second cousin took custody of the cremated remains of her cruel and abusive husband, she took them up a hill, grabbed a fistful of ash, blew it to the wind, and said, "That's the last blowjob you'll ever get, motherfucker."
Ooh.
And that's how I know we're related. We are relatives, and grief is both relative and absolute. It transcends ego and karma, distance, estrangement. At some point, we all find ourselves making arrangements. Are you thinking of an open casket? That remains to be seen. This is a poem with jokes about death, like, "Cadaver, I hardly know her," or, "Hey girl, I could get lost in demise." It's a big undertaking with pretty public execution, a laughter that swells to a sad resolution. Some say that puns are a dying art, but I think the world could use some more farce. Death isn't really a comfy discussion, but avoiding it tends to have grim repercussions. The dichotomy is too much for some people, the sureness of fate, the church in the steeple. I once read that tears that stem from emotion roll more slowly down our cheeks. Scientists say that this signals the notion we need comfort when we are too flooded to speak. Tears ask for a shoulder to rest and recover. It's clear we are built to care for each other. Now, I wouldn't call myself a morning person, but these last few years, there's been an uptick in coffin, and everyone I know has exhumed fatigue. My thoughts about death are more sad and more often, a growing fixation, a morbid intrigue. I mean, where do we go and what happens to souls? That's the thing about graveyards, they're full of plot holes. Will I be a ghost? What do you feel when you die? It's a nice headstone, man, but I was looking for more of a body high. Life isn't long and the world's unforgiving, so I have a bad habit of eulogizing the living. And it won't stop our warmth from turning to cold. But I'm glad that you're here. You deserve to grow old. To the puns up ahead and the puns left behind, to the homes that we cannot return to the ones who are bitter and the ones who are kind, life will still either bury or burn you. I don't have a pun describing true sorrow, but I can't shake the feeling that all time is borrowed. Might we leave this world softer than we found it? Grief doesn't shrink, but we do grow around it. Thank you.
Woo! I just got chills. I got chills. I don't think we recorded that one, so this is like I feel like I'm experiencing it anew, and it's just so well done.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
It's awesome. It really it's so awesome. So like,
Thank you.
how did you create this? Like, it rhymes too. Like, this might be the first time I've ever heard a rhyming piece with puns in it that I haven't written.
Wow. Well,
I don't think any other contestants had submitted pieces that rhyme besides Crops. Crops is rhymes. So yeah. His does rhyme, but they don't have to rhyme, right? Like It's not a prerequisite or anything. So rarely do the pieces rhyme that get submitted for Punspoken. So
right, for sure.
So yeah. Tell me how you made this.
Oh my gosh, how did I make this? So I really like the challenge of pairing like funny things with really poignant things. And I feel like, one of the important things about Punspoken in particular, I think, that you said in creating it was just to bring joy, and just things feel so heavy and there's, so much negativity and, people get bogged down, but bringing this kind of joy and levity to things. And so I wrote a poem about death to bring levity. But I'm really interested in that, kind of how we balance, happy stuff and sad stuff. So I think I started by I think I had the story in my head of my second cousin with the ashes. As an intro, because that is such a fun family heirloom passed down.
So that was true.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Colorful history of my family. So I'd just been thinking about that because it's a wild story. And also I was like, grief is complicated, it's like she's still spreading the ashes, but just wild. Anyway, so I think I was thinking about that and I started by just writing down all of the puns I could think of about death.
Yeah.
Did a lot of like word association kind of stuff.
Yep.
And then I sort of like was kind of playing with that and started to kind of figure out like the structure of where I wanted it to go. And then I just had to figure out how to plug in all the silly parts. So I think it was a lot of me just like, I think I was writing by hand and then just a lot of like an arrow here and then I cross it out and be like, nope, move that one here. So just Tetris.
I would love to see your notebook from
oh my gosh,
that would be so
I'll
good.
See if I can find it. I bet I've got it. Yeah.
Well, round of applause again for Carolyn.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I just want to thank you again for all your hard work, the heart that you put into Punspoken and what you do to just elevate it in all the ways that you do. through just capturing the moments or being in them, being the main star as well. You can do all the things. So I just appreciate all that you do to elevate and expand our influence. So thank you, Carolyn.
You. Yeah.
And thank you for sharing your piece with us. That was so amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you for having me.
I'm going to bring Crops onto the stage too. And
wonderful.
So it'll be all three of us. So here we go.
Perfect.
There he is.
Yo, 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 yo.
Crops.
Mic check,
Crops.
1 2 1 2.
You sound great. You look great. You got the cowboy hat on. It's a little dark. It's a little dark in there, but we can make out the edges of that cowboy hat. There is no mistaking what that is on your head.
Awesome. Yeah, the lighting I think is as good as it's gonna get, but
right on. Well, I'm sure you remember Carolyn, who is our social media manager. She's been on maybe a couple stages with you or behind the scenes. So yeah. Anyway, she just read her piece on death that she performed at the September 2022 event that she won the Punspoken Fascinator for, Most Valuable Punner. We've changed it to MVP, Most Valuable Punner, because I feel like people don't know what a fascinator is.
right.
There it is. Look, he's got it. Oh, yeah, Crops 112. Yours was in June 2022, right? You were our crowner, our fascinator from June 2022. Very cool.
Yes.
And I think you got the punner up and when Carolyn won in September. Is that true?
Punner up.
Oh, that's amazing.
Dethroned. Yeah.
You will always have that hat, though. I mean, you will always forever be crowned. Anyway, Carolyn, thank you so much for popping in and joining us. It's always a pleasure. I'm sure you've got lots to do tonight. So I just appreciate you spending a little bit of time with us.
Absolutely.
In support of our promo video. So appreciate all that you do.
Thanks so much. Y'all have a wonderful night.
Likewise.
Good night, Carolyn. All right, Crops. So it's been a while since we've connected. I know that you are is it nursing school in St. Marcus?
San Marcos, it's on the nutrition on the dietetics.
Nutrition and dietetics. Amazing. Okay. And what inspired you to get into this program, to do this?
Yeah, into Punspoken.
Oh, no, just to get into your program for you're pursuing something over there, right?
Oh, dietetics. Okay, yeah. In dietetics, I think a big inspiration for that was growing up, ate out a lot with the family, and we would have home cooked meals, but they kind of felt almost far and in between. And so as I got a bit older, when I first moved out, I kind of learned about meal prep and just the power of health and movement. And as I get closer to 30, I'm kind of I still feel young and I want to feel young, all throughout my lifespan. So
heck yeah.
And help others too.
Yeah.
Help others feel young as well.
Yeah. Well, I know too, the way in which I shared the story before, you've heard it, but the first time I saw you at the Austin Poetry Slam, I was like, this guy is special. And he has a unique point of view. And the way he uses his words really kind of inspire me, kind of make my brain explode a little bit. And it just gives me so much joy to hear you perform. And so that's why I was like, you got to come to my event. And you thankfully said yes. And so you make people feel good in all sorts of ways, not just through your dietetics work, but through your art and your performance as well. So I think you're going to be sharing a little bit from one of our past Punspoken performances. So yeah, take it away.
Yeah, I have it pulled up. It's still just titled Puns with a bunch of question marks, as it was back then. Yeah, June 2022. Yeah. All right.
Great. This is the winning performance.
Yeah. All right. Do I just go into it?
Take it away.
All right. Virtual mail electrical down the outlet inbox fill up. Do sunflowers follow moonlit parties partially or not even partly? Pedal less. You only fail her if you're not Armstrong. Pedal less. A failure can't be. Fisherman. Any other masturbators? Some honesty in the audience. Who drove here in an Audi? Henceforth, this piece, you are now the oddity. Not really, it just fit the scheme. How vanilla do you keep it? If I scream and she doesn't, it may have involved chocolate. Double muffins from the gas station, my favorite. Not much of a sweet tooth. Dunk that meat in the au jus. Bless you. How pleasant is it to encounter someone who introduces via nice to meet me? After that introduces is all I want to throw in. Throw in the towel, a weekend trip to Corpus Christi beach bound. Talk about weekends. Movie producers ran out of budget, ended with the dumpster fire. Those corpses crispy. Bake on, my fellow party pals, before prepping the kick bucket. Oh dear. Using a stallion as censorship. The lighthouse didn't sense her ship. Talk about a rocky relationship, a lack of motion in the ocean, miserable. Not something I deal with on a regular basis, far from the pier. Rather warm and parched on this travel. Is that a sibling near? Oh, hey, sis. Wait, she's an NY. That's just a mirage, a trick on NI. Sun sure is 007 golden, SpongeBob sock overhead. Tell her, put the gold in. Wrong way, sir. Attempting to steal with no steel. Wish the school system was similar. Less chaotic, no ordeal with themselves. They need help behind bookshelves. I don't have surefire solution, but brilliant brains brought together ought to piece together some resolution. 4K on the screens, no AK in the teachings. Didn't mean to enter pun. Some serious stuff. Back to base. Sick of lightweight. Decides how much could those beams weigh? I suppose a lot if the fame gets magnifyingly glass hot. Comparison to an ant, maybe. Have you seen recent Spider-Man movies? Marissa doesn't look 59 to me. Hopefully age fine without a lot of whining. Smile, damn it, your teeth will fill a role when time for the crown king. I may not have all the cash. Crops is who I am. Make sure they pay attention before crowd surfacing again. Kidding, I'm not jumping. Happy I decided survive in the end.
Woo! Oh, that's so cool. There's so much gold in that. I feel like next time we need it, like the slides and the visuals of your words, because some of those are like triple entendres there, aren't they?
There probably are a couple, yeah. I had to change the age. I had to change the age of Marissa to May because she was 57, I think, when I performed that the first time, and now she's 59.
Oh yeah. Well, thank you for updating it for us. I was just jotting down some like phrases that I wanted to remember. The au jus and bless you for the achu, and then the introduces, like throwing in the twos. And then there was definitely a Texas joke in there. The corpses Christie.
Yeah, of course.
Yep, that was good. The ideal with the oasis and the cash crops, which I love. I love that as an alternative to your name is cash crops, because that's what we're doing here today is raising some cash crops. That's right. You were able to show up and perform that for us again. We are raising money for a video promo project to bring to just level up what we're doing here, which is a word play fest, a festival that is going to just bring creative leaders together to help them to elevate their communication through hip hop, spoken word, poetry, through puns, and just get some additional tools in your tool belt for your craft.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you coming on and performing that. And it was such a joy for me to relive that because, when I'm the producer of it, I don't always I can't always be really fully present. That's something I'm working on. I took an improv class just recently.
Oh, nice.
To help to stay present because a lot of times, you put these things on and then it's gone in a flash and I didn't get video. We did actually filmed that one that you won, and like the audio and the video quality were just terrible. So selfishly, I really wanted to bring everybody back on so I could relive it.
Right, with better audio quality.
Yeah, so I'd love to just hear a little more about how you, well, first of all, how would you describe your style of performance?
Yeah, rhythmic for sure. As someone mentioned, I actually hosted my first open mic tonight at it's Alchemy Records. It's a place in San Marcos. I started a poetry club on campus recently called Cat's Poet Society.
Wow.
Yeah, so now we're trying to do it. Not official yet, but we're going to get our way to be an official club. So if you do go to Texas State in San Marcos, feel free to join our club. We're going to be doing workshops and open mics, so for like alternating every other week. But
that is incredible.
I did go to an improv class too. I found out they had an improv club on campus, so I went to that for the first time. And I want to start doing improv, because I think it just helps with public speaking and just like going at it, like putting myself out of my comfort zone and doing something different than like just a prepared piece. So that's enjoyable. But yeah, my style, rhythmic, a lot of like, rap and hip hop bass, I'd say, like as far as rhyming, being very rhyme centric. A lot of flow of consciousness a lot of the time in pieces. I don't necessarily do too much editing all the time. Like this one, I think was hardly edited. I think it was just all written in like a very short period of time and just did it.
Stream of consciousness, kind of. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Very cool.
But I do give a lot of credit to people who do a lot of editing, because I feel like, like fine tuning your craft and making it, well, no such thing as perfect, right? You don't want to fall too much into that perfectionism from like preventing you from like sharing, because that can definitely happen to people as well. But shout out to people who are like, there's a better word, right, than that, like in this spot, and like that sort of thing with their poetry or stories.
Yeah, I think each have their place. The majority of what I write, honestly, is stream of consciousness or not really edited, because I'm writing a lot of marketing materials, right? And it's just like it's kind of got to go out. I'd love to get to a place where I had a couple sets of eyes looking over it before it goes to print or goes on stage. But at the end of the day, things have to ship, as they say.
The show must go on.
Yeah, that's very, very cool. And do you have like a story in mind that you want to share at first? Does the story or the plot come first, or do the words come first, and or do you just kind of put pen to paper and do you write it all down first? Yeah.
It's mostly notes now, like phone notes. I gotta treat that as like a pen and paper.
Okay.
I think sometimes it'll just be like a line or two, right? Like a line or two will kind of come to my mind, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's good. And then like I always like to go from one idea to the next, like quickly. I tend to shift. That's why I call it kind of scatterbrained. I tend to like to bring one thought to another thought quickly. I don't know why. It's just something that people have told me I'm good at doing, and that I just enjoy to like do over and over. Maybe listening to too much Aesop rock or something. I don't know.
And yeah, well, that was one of my questions. Like, who else inspires you? Like, what kind of, authors or hip hop artists or anything that do you listen to that you're like, oh, this is cool. This kind of, I'm inspired by this or challenged by it, and allows you to kind of think in a different way.
Yeah, artist wise, I don't read as much poetry as I probably should. Like actual like poetry books, like what was it? Will Dickinson, or like different authors that I probably should read. But yeah, it's mostly artists. Like of course Aesop Rock, he's like my biggest probably. But then Homeboy Sandman, I saw him live. I want to shout out him. He's got really good. I'm probably gonna listen to his album again here soon from 2020.
What was it? I'm not writing it down.
Oh, Homeboy Sandman. Am I able to type it in this chat?
Yeah.
Yeah, Homeboy Sandman. And then of course, rest in peace, MF Doom. He's a great
MF Doom.
was a great artist. And then Harry Mack, I've checked out.
Oh yeah, I love Harry Mack.
Yeah, I've been checking out a lot of his stuff. He's so inspirational because, off the top, like it'd be good to get better at like just being able to rhyme like that. I don't, not expect myself to be as intricate as I am with Britons, but just to be able to rhyme and surprise yourself like every so often, like, oh wow, how did I think of that on the spot? But
Yeah, he is absolutely a master for sure. A good friend of mine, Mark Boughton, who's also a master at freestyle rapping on the spot and who opened one of our events up that way. It was really cool to see, kind of taking suggestions from the audience, words that they thought they could stump him with. And it was really cool to see what he did with it. So had the pleasure of going to a Harry Mack show, and they brought me up on stage. And that was like such a thrill.
oh yeah, I saw like some footage from his Austin performance.
I actually I was with a couple of fans that were like huge, super Harry Mack fans. And I was like, here, you go up instead. Like, I'm good. And then they were like, no, we need a girl. I was like, oh, okay. All right. Sorry.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But yeah. So
I'll also mention Young Delirious because
Young Delirious.
He's a friend of mine. I don't know if I would have started if it wasn't for him. Like I saw him at one of his early shows. He's still going at it today. Still like on his come up, so to speak. And shout out to YXNG because I remember seeing him perform before I ever even touched a stage, and that got me. Oh, and then of course Austin Poetry Slam. I got to mention the Austin Poetry Slam scene. SC Says, Christopher Michael, Tova Charles.
They're such great humans. Yeah, absolutely. It's been cool to share a stage with those people as well as you. And I'm really glad that we were able to connect through Austin Poetry Slam as well. So
yeah,
great.
Yeah, and thank you for hosting and keeping at it.
Yeah. Well, it's so good. I know that you're just down the road a little ways in San Marcos, but hopefully we'll get you back on our stage very soon for the next thing. We've got South by Southwest happening this and next week. We're doing an improv your networking today with wordplay. So if you come in town for South by Southwest, come find us.
Awesome.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Crops, and for spending a little time with us, giving us your award-winning set that won you Punspoken Fascinator,
yes.
June 2022. That was our best event. That was our biggest and highest grossing revenue event that we've done to date. So yeah, you really headlined a great one.
Awesome.
That one will go down in history so far, but we'll have you back when we do the next one.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a pleasure. Thank you again.
Absolutely. And best of luck at school. I know you've got some exams coming up, maybe.
Just finished the last one before spring break. So and I think it went well. So we got some clearance.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, best of luck to you, and we'll keep in touch, okay?
All right, sounds good.
Stranger.
Bye.
All right. Well, before we bring up our next guest, I may just have to mute the AC because it's kind of causing a little bit of noise back here. So let me go ahead and take care of that, and then we're going to bring up Lisa. All right.
Oh, hello, Allison. So good to see you.
lighting a candle, getting kind of witchy tonight?
It's always the witching hour.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Well, welcome, Lisa.
Good to see you. It really is. Really is. I was just thinking, on this beautiful, beautiful Wednesday, how important it is to have a little self-love.
Cheers, dear. Cheers. We're doing some quips and sips tonight for Punch Drunk Love. And I am so excited to have you joining us. Lisa Sperry, aka Lil Spills.
Yes, spilling out the truth.
She is a musical and improv comedy genius. And what do you do during the day when you are not doing comedy? Do you have a capital J job?
Yes, my capital J job is actually I'm a nurse at the moment.
You are.
Yes, I am.
I ever knew that. We are good friends, I would say.
Yeah.
I know what you did during the day.
Yeah, that's why if you ever see me like show up to things in scrub pants, it's not just because they look comfortable. It's because I live in them.
And it's not just because you love TLC. No scrubs.
None of those scrubs.
Awesome. Well, thank you for helping keep us healthy and safe, because nurses are very underfunded, I would say. Absolutely. And underappreciated. I think everybody figured that out way too late during COVID. Anyway. Thank you for your service.
Yes, it was not a very fun pandemic, really. Really, it was not.
No. But I'm sure you kept it light and and brought the levity where it was needed.
I had to. You have to bring the levity when you're packing on all those COVID pounds from the extra meals. They're like, you're a healthcare worker, you matter. And I'm like, please stop feeding me.
Oh, no. Do not mask me to eat anything else. If I drink one more Corona, I'm going to burst.
Yes. Everyone wanted to make the Corona jokes. That's true.
Totally. So I am very excited because your topic that you performed at the very last Punspoken Bite Night is very on theme. It's charcuterie. True. I mean, can you ask for a better pairing with an alcohol-themed campaign for Amplify Austin? I don't think so. I think not.
And honestly, charcuterie is one of my deepest loves. Me and my friends, also around the COVID times, many charcuterie nights with wine. I mean, there's not much else to do,
Especially when it's outside and you have a nice little backyard area.
We were all a little bored, so we had to get some charcuterie.
Well, it is so beautiful out, so I'm glad that you were spending some of this beautiful outdoor time during the eve of South by Southwest, pretty much.
Oh, it is.
With us. So I thank you for coming and performing your piece. And do you want to go ahead and share your screen before we kick things off? See if it works. We had tested this before. Let's see if it happens.
We did. So let me just agree yet again that I am allowed to share my Google preferences with StreamYard.
Yes.
There we go. Processing. It's like processed cheese.
Oh, yes. The cheese that comes in the individualized plastic. Okay. All right. Let's bring it up on stage. Here it is. All right. Lisa Sperry, everyone. Take it away.
Lisa's Limburgeric, like Limburg cheese. So, let's see here. Charged with writing a Limburgeric. Fed a relieve, I'd whine to be slick. Don't be jelly, I toast. I mustered a fine boast. Honey, if you're stuck in a jam, chalk a lick. Pond, I meant to say I love you, dear. I shall spy. See, I pick all to spear. Spread my seed to cracker, shoot my shuts, nay, jacker. Proshoot, yo, sought sage and screamed shamir. My fan Stanwood's code sure for matza. Grew year after year, say kielbasa. For nightcap a cola. New genoma, told ya. Bored, I'm a gift, y'all, so press soda. Have at response to become Gouda. You're a monster, art I choke, Buddha. For Rick Otterfort, me might let win for Mort. Apt I'll still tone for a win, loser. I just hope you all have a great night, Carrot. Hope wasn't a chore easy, oh, share it. This time had been radish. I'm a big deal, mad fresh. Brain says pepper, not beat to dare it. And let's all have a little toast to this wonderful charcuterie night.
Toast to you. Oh my. Oh my goodness. That was incredible. How does it feel to deliver a piece like that?
I just really, in a lot of these competitions, there's not so much limericks. So I wanted to come up with like a different sort of structure. But I will say it's kind of hard to fit both the puns that I needed into any sort of storyline with a limerick. It was more difficult than I think I anticipated. But okay, I think I punched in a lot of puns, and that was...
This is a whole nother level that we need to talk about. I think that the limerick part of it might have gotten lost on some people when it was formed, because a limerick is a very specific type of style, right, of poetry. So can you speak a little bit to that?
So actually, me and Dave Wallace were talking about that. He's like, it has to have that rhythm, but dun da 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 dun. I'm like, I know. Like, I literally made sure that each of my lines had the specific structure. So what they call them is like feet of the like triplets, more or less, the three part rhythm. So like da 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 da. And the first two lines will have bum 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 bum. So there's three of those 2-line feet, and then line 1, line 2, and then line 3 and line 4 have to have only 2 of that. So it's da 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 da. Da 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 da, and that's most limericks we know, like The Man from Nantucket
and so when you saying da, it's like the stress on that syllable. Is that how it works with the
kind of? Yeah, it's like so they call them. I guess when I was researching it, anyways, they call them feet, like those 2 like beats. Ba 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 ba. So line 1 and 2, it just says basically the stress, the rhythm. There's 3 of them in line 1, 2, and 5. But then lines 3 and 4, there's only 2 of them. So it has that sort of cadence that makes it feel like a limerick. And I will say, though, me and Dave, we discussed it after a little bit of a drink seas ourselves that night. And he said it's less about the rhythm necessarily of like counting the syllables, and it's more about the rhythm of the beat itself, so that you can actually add more syllables sometimes. I don't know, but online it seemed there were some purists that think you have to go by syllable. So that was fun too, to try to be like, I have to stay in the syllable, range to make the rhythm.
Impressed. Yeah, I'm just so impressed by how you were able to fit that into a structure. So we're kind of getting a take on from some of the past speakers that have come on. They're kind of chatting through like their process. So talk to us about how this plate of savory goodness got put together. How did you throw this bit together?
Well, I often make a lot of puns on cheese and on pickles, and I wanted to have kind of like a broader category where I could combine my loves of cheese and pickles and also wine. And of course that brought me to charcuterie. So a lot of it, I kind of like started to think of puns that I have used before, like feta brie leave it. I've used that, I think, in some pun competitions. So like I would just think of the ones I'd already kind of processed. But then when I was running out of those that I kind of had used already, I tried to think of new ways to form a pun out of a word or a group of words. So like kielbasa, I was like, well, you could say like kill it, boss. And so I just kind of tried to make that into a phrase. Like pour a nightcap, like we all say, you know, you pour yourself a nightcap, but I wanted to get in Capicola. So part of me was like, man, I should have made a joke there about like, you know, Jack and Coca-Cola, but that was in a different stanza. So yeah, it was kind of just like mixing together different pieces of like making a pun out of a common, you know, word that would be in charcuterie, and then kind of trying to link it to the thought that was happening in that stanza. I will say, if I ever like do modify this piece in a big way, I think it would be best if like first stanza is all meats, second stanza is all cheeses, and third stanza is all like, I think it would kind of read better or like be more interesting to the audience.
Well, I love what you did. I mean, if you decide to revise it, fine, but I think it's perfect the way it is. Some of the things that I wrote down, because I was saying before, as an event producer, I don't always get to really stay fully present with the performances because I'm off whatever, talking to somebody or trying to navigate the next thing of it.
Yes,
and so I'm just selfishly, I'm so grateful for you and everyone else who showed up so I could hear the pieces again. I think that my favorite line was "spread my seed."
Actually, I think Ace Soft liked that one too for some reason. He's like, I don't know what to expect with that "spread your seed," and I was like, I just think that's
so
funny.
good.
That's the one.
Gruyere after year was so good.
Gruyere after year.
You're a monster. That was very, very good. Very good. And this has been rad-ish.
It's been rad-ish. And I really, I don't know why I wanted so badly to, so ricotta, like ricotta cheese, but the one stanza is for Rick Otta Rockfort. So there's actually two cheeses there, like ricotta and Rockfort. But I really thought, like, in my brain at one point, I wanted to do like a pickle Rick joke. So then I was like, I want to fit in Morty. So I did like rhyme Rick and Mort against one another, like in one stanza, but it was like way too much going on that nobody would notice. So then I was like, I should have just thrown those images on the screen, but I like wanted to just stick with one thing. Not get
yeah, and I was I meant to share your some of the verbiage from it. Hold on. Oh shoot.
I might be able to also. Let me see.
Yeah, into the chat there. I think I can bring up probably my email and that you shared it with.
Oh yeah, it says we have to allow our YouTube access next. Ooh, so interesting.
Okay. Let me see if I can find that and share it in here in the chat because it's just so brilliant. Yeah, I think the other thing is seeing the words is really helpful to kind of make the pun really come alive as well. But your visuals also kept it interesting and moving along. So yeah, okay, I'm bringing it up. I'm copying and pasting.
Oh, yeah, yours might do it better. Mine made it space funny.
Oh, did you already share it in the chat? I didn't check.
I tried, but it kind of spaced it like funky.
Okay. Yeah. Very good. I see it. Looks good. So now people can read that through and then listen also to your amazing piece. Well, Lisa, I thank you so much for jumping in here on a Wednesday night and for lending your talents here and raising your voice so that we might raise some money to bring this thing to the next level with a festival.
Oh, you're so exciting. Good luck. It was such a great time to be a guest, and I think this is a great cause. It's going to be great.
Thank you, Lisa, and I'll talk to you soon. If not one of your Comedy Sports Austin, you can see you on Saturday nights. Are you with Comedy Sports?
Yeah, Saturday nights we have a family show at 7:30, but sometimes we also have late night adult shows at 10 o'clock.
Okay, and you got a fan in the comments saying thank you, Lil Spills. You got a little fan. So thank you, Beast Beats, for being here. Very cool. All right, well, yes, definitely catch Lisa Sperry, aka Lil Spills, coming on here on a Wednesday night. See her at Comedy Sports Austin at 7:30 p.m. for a family-friendly improv show. Bring the whole family. Amazing.
All right. Have a good one.
Good night, Lisa. Thank you so much. And thank everybody. I want to thank everybody for their donations for Punch Drunk Love. I'm going to share the screen one more time. You can donate to bring Wordplay Fest to Austin. This is going to be a festival that really celebrates a love of language and communicating in a positive way to your customers, your, if you really want to create amazing presentations, if you want to incorporate poetry or puns or levity into your just day-to-day conversation or for work, and just have more fun with language, have more fun connecting with people all day, every day. That's what we're here to do. This is our campaign, Punch Drunk Love. We are also going to be live tomorrow. I thank you. We've already raised $90. Thank you, everyone who has donated so far. And use the hashtag LoveTitos to donate an extra $25 to your donation. So thank you so much. And join us live tomorrow, March 7th, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Where we're going to have 4 more amazing past Punspoken performers on here to share their amazing bits. So have an amazing night, everyone. Thank you so much for being here, for being live with us. Cheers. I got to get a refill, so I'm out of here. But I thank you so much for joining and for being a part of this. Bye-bye.